Welcome to Applied Logics. In this video, we will see how we can find the largest element from an array. For example, let's say you have an array of 3 elements like 5, 3 and 2. In this case, your program should return 5 as the output. If you have one more array, let's say of 5 elements like 10, 20, 40, 50 and 30. In this case, your program should output 50 as the largest element, that is the result of your code. So let's see how we can build the same program in Java. So here I'm creating a solution file, solution.java. Yes, so you can see I have a public class solution in it. Let's go ahead and add a main method to it, that is public static void main. I'm changing the name to main, okay, and add the string array as the input parameters. These are the arguments. Okay, I will add one more method to the same program, which will be again a public static. Instead of void, I will keep int as the return type. The reason being, this method will take array as an input and will return the max element as the output. So as I said, it will take array as an input. So we'll add parameters to it like integer array with variable name as an input. And let's change the name to get max element. Okay. Now let's declare one array, integer array values, which will be similar to the example like 5, 3 and 2. Okay, then take one variable as a max element, max, which is equal to, or make it as a result equals to, we'll call the get max element and we'll pass values to it, values array. And yes, we will display the output on the console by using system.out.println. Okay, so with this we are good with the driver code. Now let's go ahead and implement the get max element function. Okay, so I will add an integer variable called as a max, and I will assign it to very first element from the array, that is input of 0th element. So I'm initializing the max with first element from the array. Now I need to traverse the entire array, so I need to take help of a for loop, right? And here I'm declaring one integer variable I equals to 0, I less than, or again we can start the indexing from the first position. The reason is we already calculated or considered the first element from the array and we have assigned it to max, so we can iterate from the second elements and onward. Okay, we will iterate till we have the input, that is till we have the input dot length, and we'll increment counter by 1. Okay, so here we have to add the logic. Now in order to calculate max, we have to check whether the current element, okay, so I'm taking one more variable like current element is equals to input of I. Okay, now here we have to check whether the current element, if the current element is greater than our max. If that is the case, means the element which is currently referenced, if it is greater than the max value, in that case we have to update the max with the current element. For example, let's say if our previous max was, let's say 10, and while iterating the array you got a value 20, so in that case your current value will be 20 and your previous max will be 10. So which is, of course, 20 is greater than 10. So in that case we were assigning that 20 to max. Okay, this is the if condition that we have to add. At the end of the loop, we will simply return max. Okay, let me add one more value to it. Let's say 10. Okay, so in this case, our program should return 10 as the output, right? So let's test if it works. Let me quickly open the terminal. Okay, let's go ahead and compile the solution. Okay, let me expand. You can see the solution.class which got created once we compile the code. Now let's run the code. Yes, we received 10 as the output. Okay, let's make some changes to the code and see if it works with the other set of inputs as well. So instead of these elements, let's add 10, 20, 5 and 100 and one more like 40. Okay, so in this case we should get 100 as the output. Let's go back to the terminal and see. So I need to recompile it. Okay, and I need to run it one more time. 100. So you can see that we received the expected output. So let's closely look at the for loop one more time so that it will help you to understand it. Okay, so here inside a for loop, what we are doing, we are visiting each and every element, right? So this is what the for loop does, right? A traversal operation. Now what we are doing, we are taking one current element variable and we are storing the element which is at current position. So initially it will be 20. The reason being we are starting from I is equal to 1. So here max would be initialized with 10. We are starting with first element from the array, that is 20, right? So we have assigned 20 to current element, that is 20 over here, and max is assigned with 10. Okay, now here once we reach to statement, if statement, where we are checking current element with max, it becomes true, that is 20 is greater than 10. Hence we are updating max and we are setting max to 20. Now we increment the index. Now we will reach to 5. Now the current element will become 5. We'll check it with the max. If 5 is greater than 20, no. So we will not go inside this loop. Now the I value will become 3. Now the current element will become value at third index, that is 100. Okay, now we will compare 100 with the previous max. The previous max was 20. So is the current element, that is 100, is greater than 20? Yes. So we will go inside this construct. So we will update the max with 100. Now we will come out, we will increment the counter. Now our current element will point to the 40. We will check whether the current element is greater than max. Whether the 40 is greater than 100? No. So we will not go inside this construct. So we will come out. The I will got increment and this condition will fail because we reach to the length of the loop. So we will come out of this and we will return whatever value assigned to max. In our case, with this example, we will return 100. And this is the simplest way of finding the max element. And you will find this same question asked in a couple of interviews as well for the freshers. If you have any questions around how we can find the max element, or if you know any other methods, feel free to post it into the comment section below. Thank you.